Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Aditi Kulkarni. I'm working as the head of the department for the physiotherapy at MKSS, that means Manav Kalyan Seva Samiti Charitable Physiotherapy and Ergonomics Clinic, Hyderabad. As well as I'm working as a director of Be Active Physiotherapy and Ergonomics Clinic, which is now shifted from Pune to Hyderabad. Thank you so much, Pradyut sir. Thank you so much, MMA, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my knowledge with you all on the occasion of the World Physiotherapy Day. Thank you so much once again. My today's topic is going to be the role of ergonomics in the shoulder rehabilitation. In today's PPT or presentation, or as well as we can say in the webinar, we are going to cover up certain pathological aspects of the shoulder, anatomy of the shoulder, then the certain parts of ergonomics in the very brief manner, along with the ergonomics and the physiotherapy in detailed manner, so that everybody will understand why ergonomics is so important in the shoulder rehabilitation. Yes. There are certain professionals which are under the high risk of the shoulder joint issues. We can say the recently we have celebrated Teachers Day. So one profession is the teachers, then the construction workers, painters, movers, assembly line workers, driving professionals, carpenters, hairdressers, maintenance workers, athletes, and the coaches, and the office and the computer workers, which we can consider as a broad spectrum, is an IT industry. When we are saying those people are getting exposed, there are generalized repetitive arm movements, the swinging, there are vibrations, there are certain kinds of stagnant postures which are responsible for that. There are certain types of professions which require continuous lifting, transportation, then the heavy objects, then the straining of the shoulder will happen because of the continuous repetitive motion. There are prolonged period of exposure to the muscle work, or there are certain kinds of tendinitis also happen because of the continuous repetition or the vibration forces which are the joints are getting exposed because of the professional requirements. Then certain objectives we are going to cover up in this session as a define ergonomics and a musculoskeletal disorders, identifying the ergonomic risk factors in these professionals, then the recognizing musculoskeletal symptoms. What actually are going to be the symptoms? Patients are going to come to you and going to ask you for that. Ki these are the symptoms I'm experiencing, and might can be these related to the shoulders at an initial stage. Set up your workstation to minimize the stress and strain. What are the angles has to be there? How exactly the anthropometric measurements has to be there? Performing a certain task safely and avoiding injuries and the illnesses. We are going to discuss one by one now. Now, this is the shoulder joint. When we can say a shoulder, it is not only just the shoulder. There are multiple muscles are involved. There is a bursa. There is a bones which are like acromion process, the clavicle, the deltoid muscle, the rotator cuff, humerus, and the bicep muscle. And also behind that there is a clavicle. There is a below the scapula, and those muscles are also the certain muscles fiber also go up to the neck, which are like trapezius. Then there are associated with the spinal muscles which are coming in contact with the scapula, and in association with the shoulder the entire movement is happening. So overall this is we call it as a shoulder. And whenever we say there is a shoulder pain, certain people complain about only about the bony pain. Some people complained about the radiating pain in the hand along with the shoulder joint. Some people complained about the cervicogenic pain which are also radiating up to the shoulder joint. Some people talk about the neck pain and the upper back pain along with the shoulder joint. So there are multiple aspects of the shoulder joint which are associated with those kind of an professional hazards, certain kinds of an stagnant postures, certain kinds of an exposure to the repetition. So those things we are going to consider in the shoulder joint. Certain common pathological conditions which are linked to these professionals are tendinitis, bursitis, rotator cuff tear, and the shoulder impingement. Tendinitis, we can say the inflammation of the tendons in the shoulder, and often because of the overuse, these happen. These can be often just by simply clicking of the mouse as well in an awkward postures where your shoulders are going in an awkward postures, and that also can cause an tendinitis. The bursitis, swelling of the bursa or the fluid filled sac that cushions the joint due to the repetitive motion. There is a bursa in the shoulder joint. This is I am explaining also for the layman people, so I'll explain it in a details about it. about it. So when we say there is a bursa, there is a joint and there is a shock absorption material, and also it prevents and gives the cushioning to the bones, so the wear and tear should not happen. Or we can say we can prevent the wear and tear of the joints in the long term. So those bursitis are also active, and whenever there is a continuous repetition or the continuous overuse of that particular joint is happening, the bursas are also getting involved. Rotator cuff tears, the tear of the rotator cuff tendons, either from the sudden injury or the gradual wear and tear from the repetitive movements. The shoulder impingement, the tendons get pinched into the shoulder joint, leading to the pain and the swelling. Many of the time, people come with the certain tests are positive, can be a bucket handle, or sometimes it's a empty can, full can. Then there is a little bit of pinch movement they are experiencing only with the certain angles of the shoulder, can be with the 30 to 60, can be with the 60 to 90, can be from the 90 above. So those things are the assessment part of the physiotherapy as well as the ergonomics. But whenever every angle is different, every pinch of the tendon is different. There are the commonest tendons which are getting involved are the tendons of the rotator cuff muscles, as well as the more common is the supraspinatus. The shoulder impingement is pretty common in nowadays in a certain professions. On and off people come with the shoulder impingement, and those are definitely curable with the certain following the postures, as well as correcting with the physiotherapy exercises and certain modalities like electrotherapy modalities. When exactly we are going to say the musculoskeletal disorders are going to happen, what exactly is the musculoskeletal disorders and how it is related to us? Whenever there is an injury or the disorders involved, then it involves the muscles, the tendons and the ligaments, the joints, cartilage, blood vessels, and the nerves. When there is a muscle, that time automatically person start doing application of the ointments or the ice packs or the hot packs. Then they try to reduce the pain. But when it goes along with the muscles and the tendons and the ligament, that pain becomes so severe along with the joints or the cartilage or the nerves. Then they have to get an expert opinion about their certain conditions, and those are associated with the circulation as well. Sometimes can be the venous drainage blockages, can be the circulation issues, can be the tingling sensations, can be a numbness in the shoulder or the radiating up to the upper hand, or can be going the radiating up to the cervical symptoms, can be the cervicogenic headache. So those things we call it as a musculoskeletal disorders. When the muscles, joints, as well as the soft tissue are getting involved, we call it as a musculoskeletal disorders, which are generally associated with the ergonomics. That means the science of posture. Whenever or we can say using the furniture is the different. If the person is not aware how to use the furniture or otherwise workplace which they have provided by the companies or at the home, that also can lead to the wrong postures, awkward postures, and that can lead to the musculoskeletal disorders. What are the risk factors? We just discussed about it, about the professional hazards. The repetition, awkward postures, contact stresses, force, and the vibrations are the main causative factors for the person who are getting under the risk of the musculoskeletal disorders, which are associated with the shoulder joint as well as in other many other joints as well. But specifically for the shoulder joint, as it is a joint connected to the spinal upper spine, and the muscles are associated with the mid back and the upper back, then these are the factors which we have to taken in consideration when we are considering the ergonomics for the shoulder rehabilitation. There are outward signs which people keep complaining about when their shoulder is going to get involved very soon. You may feel pain or the swelling in the hands, wrist, or the forearms, or the fingers, elbows, shoulders, neck, and the back. There are certain peoples we generally tell to do the certain test to do that when there is a restricted joint of motion, or otherwise when there is a lot of pain in the certain muscular area. They are getting click click sounds also there whenever they are doing certain activities, or whenever they are sitting for the prolonged period of time, they are having certain back pain, mid back pain, or the upper back pain. They are getting eye strains. So those things are associated with the circulation as well as the soft tissue as well as the joints, and these are the outward symptoms of the musculoskeletal system. They will show when there is a soon the major symptoms like tendinitis, bursitis, or any kind of an issues are going to happen in the shoulders. What exactly the symptoms are going to be. Certain times patient complaint of the tightness or the stiffness or the discomfort. There are soreness, the burning sensation, can be the tingling sensation, can be the coldness or the numbness. Not always people will complain about the pain in the shoulder or my shoulder is not moving, kind of in frozen shoulder kind of in symptoms. These are the outward sign they will start complaining of, and we have to rectify it immediately by correcting their postures as well as by giving them a correct physiotherapy exercises and the solutions from the physiotherapy. Then these symptoms will alleviate automatically. The shoulder rehabilitation will be processing in the correct direction, as well as they will get a relief from that particular symptoms at an earliest. The outward sign we just discussed about, there are certain swelling or the inflamed joints, so these are also the outward signs when in the IT workers or the person who are using more of a shoulder in an awkward postures. There are certain times it's the swelling or the inflammation of the joint they keep complaining about, and those are the nerves which are getting and coming from the cervical spine, passing from the shoulder and supplying to your all the lower limbs. I mean the arm and the fingers and the palm. So there might be a swelling, there might be an inflammation of the joints. Sometimes vigorous shaking of the hands and the wrist because the nerves are getting also involved. The massaging of the hands, wrist, and the arm, feeling very good relief to the person. But again, the symptoms are coming back, and that time they have the protracted shoulders or the protracted neck or the rounded shoulders, we can say. Or sometimes they have the symptoms like a winging of the scapula. Sometimes they have the restricted range of motion at the shoulder. Sometimes it is the tightness in the muscles of the neck as well as the shoulder. So those things are associated when the person feel like to massage the hand, try to relieve the symptoms. The cradling of the arms is feeling and giving a very good relaxation to the person, and that time he keeps doing on and off, but it is certainly giving a symptomatic relief for that time being. But that time also the shoulder muscles might have got involved. There are certain postural adaptations people notice when they start getting a shoulder symptoms or the involvement of the shoulder girdle. So the main is a symptom we notice is in the person standing in the middle is a protracted shoulder along with the neck is coming forward. And in a very but the person who are standing professionals or driving professionals like a truck drivers and all, we get the second kind of an postures where the flat back or only the neck started coming forward. Certain pathological conditions like ankylosing spondylosis or the fibromyalgia, these kind of symptoms when the muscles are involved and there is a tightness and it causes straightening of the spine, these kind of things, these two postures we are getting involved. And when we come into the ergonomics as well as we come into the physiotherapy as well as electrotherapeutic modalities, and we are trying to correct those many symptoms and we are trying to work on the muscles of the shoulder along with the correction of the postures. We It's a journey from this right side of the posture to the left side of the postures with the good curvatures, standing in the correct pattern. And definitely these are the alignments, the spinal correct alignments, we can say, when the person is going into the correction of the postural adaptations. This is a simple wall express exercise anybody can practice at home, which is very effective and give 100% result to everyone. You just have to stand against the wall, try to touch your head, your shoulders, your elbows, your palms, your hips, your calf muscles, and your heel. Try to press on the wall as much as you can for the 5 seconds. You have to stand against the wall, press each and every body part which is coming in contact with the wall, and press for the 5 seconds. It will start giving a correction to the posture. It will enhance the awareness of your body parts which are coming in contact, as well as it will give an advancement of the awareness against the gravitational force, which provides a good amount of blood supply to the ignored parts of the body, and it helps to improve the tone in your muscles. This particular exercise you can practice at any time of the day. There is no restrictions for the food intake or anything. You can do this exercise even before sleeping at night after finishing your workload. You can do it n number of times at a day, so that you it will start giving a good circulation to your body parts. It will correct your postures and it will help you to get the awareness of the body parts which are getting ignored by the brain because of the stagnant postures or the stagnant positions of the shoulder. So definitely it is going to help, and it will also strengthen your muscles and gives the tone to your muscles. When we consider the anthropometric measurements for the people who are working for the shoulder, or who are using a shoulder more often, or otherwise in the professions which are standing and the sitting, match the size and the strength with the work environment and the tools. It can be any profession. The person has to understand the male or the female ratio and the fifth percentile of the female, so that everybody will be getting accommodated in that particular workstation. Can be it's a driving in the car, can be driving in the truck, or can be sitting in on the IT industry, or can be standing in the professions which are requiring for the 8 hours of standing without taking a breaks for the certain kinds of an optical fiber industries. There are many industries where you have to stand for the prolonged period of time. That time important is to match the size with the fifth percentile of the female, so automatically all the workstations will come and match. And the strength of the person definitely it differs from person to person, can be a male female ratio as well. So we have to match it accordingly, and we have to design the environment and the tools as per our basic capacity. When average is not good enough and need to consider the reaches and the clearance, when the person has to do while lying down postures or otherwise in the standing postures with the certain kinds of in repetition task, and that time the reach out moments are important and the clearance is important. So always remember, when you're using our upper body or the shoulder or the heavy lifting or the repetitions, that time you should make sure it's going to be the fifth percentile of the female. So the umbilical part of that person from the lower body is going to be completely free and with the clearance. So the reach out movements, the repetition movements, or the heavy lifting movements with the repetition can be definitely managed with the 45-degree to 90-degree angle of the elbow, and that person can work very effectively and can get a definitely a good result out of it. Designed to a small woman can reach and the large man can fit. So it's very much golden rule which I always suggest at the time of taking ergonomic audits or ergonomic workstation designing in the industrial and the corporate trainings, as well as in the clinical practice when the person are coming for the one-to-one ergonomic sessions. You always have to consider the person who is sitting on that workstation, because not even a single company is going to provide a workstation only for you. That person can be a executive person, or that person can be a simple random employee who is standing at the gate like a watchman, or can be the person who is sitting and working for the throughout a day for the 7 to 8 hours duty for that particular industry. Nobody is going to provide you a workstation only suitable for you. So whenever you are arranging or whenever you are using, you should make sure that everything is arranged ergonomically. Learn the ergonomically correct postures, learn how to use the furniture as per your benefit, and then design it for the small woman can reach and the large man can fit. This is also the designing part, as well as the person who is going to use that workstation has to follow the same rule. Whenever we are considering the accommodation reach, place the objects between the knee and the shoulder height. How to arrange your workstation? Always remember, the people who are using the workstation can be sitting, standing, or can be any kind of a professional way for the shoulder and the upper back. That time you have a tendency to lean forward, use your spine from the mid back instead of using the bending process from the hip. So it's a generalized tendency for the any person. So when you're doing this, it's very important you should bend forward from the hip and then arrange your workstation by reaching out moments, or by arranging in a certain way that you don't have to bend forward or the lean forward very often. Whenever you are going to arrange any workstation, the golden rule is that you have to keep the non required things in the one arm position. Like you are going to use your phone very less, then it has to be in a one arm reach. You are going to use your computer screen very often, it is going to be in the one hand reach. Whenever you are going to you require typing techniques or certain times of an clicking mouse, it has to be in the one arm reach with the 90-degree. If the keyboard and the mouse is provided, if the laptop you are using, you have to make a elbow angle 45-degree and then use it for as per the requirement. The same 45-degree angle is required for the hairdressers as well as for the people who are in the driving industry. And these are certain 95th percentile of the male and the 5th percentile of the female. It is very professional language. Those the ergonomist and a physiotherapist will definitely understand. And this is how exactly you have to adjust the accommodation reach. Correct way of using the small joints can definitely prevent n number of pathological conditions of the shoulder. It's very important, whatever may be the task you are doing, you should use your neutral position for the wrist. All the movement should be happening from the elbow, not from the shoulder or not from the wrist. So make sure you are using it correctly. You should not use the twist and turn movements of the elbow, because it unnecessarily increases the pressure from the shoulder. And you have to make sure the grips and natural positions has to get followed correctly. Whenever we are deciding the work surface side, the precision work need 45 degree of the elbow angle, the light work required 90 degree of the elbow angle, heavy work require more than 90 degrees of the elbow angle. So based on that, you are going to decide your workstation, you are going to adjust your postures, and you are going to use your furniture. Always remember, every after 30 to 45 minutes for 2 to 3 minute stretches are very important. If you'll visit my YouTube channel, there is a video I have posted for everybody. I have only performed those stretching exercises which you all have to perform every after 2 to 3 minutes. Not all the exercises are possible at a one stretch when you're in the working position, but certain stretches can be performed. Definitely those are going to help you for the throughout a day working pain free, and in the long run to make your all the muscles, soft tissues, joints in the healthy manner. Take a frequent breathers and a rest breaks. Make sure you are doing a good breathing exercises in between. Rest breaks are there. Can be the rest breaks, a musical rest break can be. It can be a walking in the nature, or it can be walking barefoot, or you can just do the stretches along with the certain musics. Can be the jazz music background. Can be certain kinds of an piano, whichever is going to give a relaxation to your brain. You have to take a rest breaks and then continue work again. Do a different task or do the task differently. Just perform your task in between by taking breaks as well as by changing postures. If you are in a sitting professional, try to make it in between a standing workstation. If you are in a standing professionals, try to adjust your postures in the standing and sitting accordingly. If it is not possible, try to walk in between, try to do the stretches in between, try to get the rest breaks in between. These are certain stretches which are reducing the muscular stiffness and maintaining the range of motion for the shoulder joint. You have to work on your neck muscles, you have to work on your upper body muscles, you have to work on your spinal structures, as well as you have to work on your core to maintain the strength as well as maintain the good range of motion. This can be strengthening can be done with the weights. There are certain times you can take the assistance from the professionals. You can go to the gym for the generalized condition, or you can just visit the good physiotherapist and ergonomist to correct postures, learn the exercises with the corrected postures, and then perform it throughout whenever throughout your life, we can say, because it's a professional requirement. So at least thrice a week exercises are advisable. These are the easiest way when the person is in the traveling profession. You can use these kind of an therabands to perform the exercises. When the theraband you buy certain, I will always suggest to start from the lightweight to the higher weight. You can go and visit the physiotherapist and take a proper consultation how to use it as a generalized fitness way. Perform those, so automatically your shoulders, your upper spine, your neck, and all the circulation throughout your spine as well as the upper body, lower body is going to get maintained. The good strength will be there will be good flexibility, and you will be able to be maintaining the healthy lifestyle. I hope you like the information which I shared with you. I would like to have a good feedback from you. My email ID and my phone number I have shared. If any questions also are always welcome. You can write down the questions and I will definitely answer you all the questions. If anything, just let me know. Thank you so much for listening me so patiently. I hope you like my all the information provided to you. Thank you so much once again, Pradyut sir, MMA, for giving me this wonderful opportunity on the occasion of World Physiotherapy Day to share my brief of knowledge or some sort of a knowledge with you all. Thank you so much, everyone.